On average, truckers drive around 400 to 600 miles a day. Some of these miles are on one of the deadliest roads for truckers. Keep watching to find out where the deadliest road of them all is located. Number 1. Dalton Highway, Alaska. Our journey into the most perilous routes begins with Alaska's Dalton Highway. Often regarded as one of the loneliest roads in America, this highway stretches over 400 miles from Livengood to Prudhoe Bay, slicing through some of the most remote and rugged landscapes you can imagine. The road is notorious for its icy conditions, which can persist for most of the year, enveloping the highway in a dangerous, slippery sheath that challenges even the most skilled drivers. Visibility here can also plummet to near zero during snowstorms or when fog rolls in from the Arctic stretches, further increasing the risk of accidents. The remoteness of the Dalton Highway adds another layer of danger. Help is far away in the event of an emergency, and cell service is patchy at best, leaving drivers quite literally on their own. Each year, several fatalities are recorded on this unforgiving route, often related to the harsh weather conditions and the isolation. For truckers, the Dalton Highway is more than a road. It's the ultimate test of endurance and skill, where even a minor error can have severe consequences. If you like everything that has to do with trucking, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Number 2. Interstate 70 in Colorado. Stretching across Colorado from east to west, Interstate 70 slices through the heart of the Rocky Mountains and is one of the most scenic routes in the United States. However, its beauty is matched by the peril it presents, especially during the winter months when the road is frequently blanketed in snow and ice. The route includes several steep grades and high-altitude passes, such as Vail Pass and the Eisenhower Tunnel, where elevation exceeds 11,000 feet. These conditions demand skilled navigation and can be highly treacherous, particularly for truck drivers carrying heavy loads. The challenges of Interstate 70 are compounded by its popularity, both as a major commercial thoroughfare and a key access route to Colorado's ski resorts. This leads to heavy traffic and frequent congestion, which can exacerbate hazardous conditions. Sudden weather changes are common, bringing rapid accumulations of snow, gusty winds, and occasional ice storms, all of which can dramatically reduce visibility and road traction. Accidents on Interstate 70 can be severe, often involving multiple vehicles, and emergency response times may be delayed due to the remote location and adverse weather conditions. Number 3. Highway 2, Montana. Turning our attention to Highway 2 in Montana, this road traverses the wide open expanse of the northern Great Plains, skirting the breathtaking but perilous edges of the Rocky Mountains. This highway is characterized by its seemingly endless straight stretches that invite high speeds and require constant vigilance. Drivers face not only the monotony of the long road that can lead to highway hypnosis, but also erratic weather conditions that can change from clear skies to blizzard-like conditions in a matter of minutes. Winter on Highway 2 is particularly brutal, with fierce winds that sweep across the flat landscape, drifting snow across the road and forming ice patches that are treacherous to navigate. These conditions frequently lead to slide-offs and multi-car rollovers, with recovery efforts hampered by the sparse population and remote nature of the area. In summer, the challenges shift as thunderstorms bring sudden downpours that cause flash flooding, obscuring road markings and creating slick road surfaces that can surprise unwary drivers. The road's isolation is compounded by its limited access to emergency services and few major towns along its route. This means that any call for help may take longer to be answered, and medical assistance is often a helicopter ride away. The infrequency of patrols and service vehicles also means that drivers are largely on their own, with stretches of the highway rarely seeing more than a handful of vehicles per hour during off-peak seasons. Number 4. Interstate 10 in Arizona. Next, we navigate the unique dangers of Interstate 10 in Arizona, a major artery that cuts across the southern part of the state through vast stretches of arid desert landscape. This highway is infamous not just for its heat and the long, monotonous distances between cities, but particularly for its susceptibility to sudden and severe dust storms. These storms, locally known as haboobs, can rise without much warning, engulfing the highway in dense clouds of dust that dramatically reduce visibility to zero within seconds, creating perilous driving conditions. The frequency of these dust storms peaks during the Arizona monsoon season from June through September. The storms are powered by strong winds that can whip up dense clouds of sand and dust from the desert floor, completely obscuring the road and making navigation nearly impossible. The abrupt drop in visibility often leads to high-speed collisions and multi-vehicle pileups, involving both passenger cars and heavy trucks. Drivers on this stretch of Interstate 10 must always be alert for sudden changes in weather. The local authorities often issue dust storm warnings, and electronic highway signs provide real-time updates about potential hazards. Despite these measures, the rapid onset of a haboob can catch even the most experienced drivers off guard. The road's high traffic volume exacerbates the situation, as it includes a mix of local commuters, long-distance travelers, and heavy freight haulers, all sharing the same lanes at high speeds. Adding to the challenge is the intense heat of the desert, which can cause vehicle overheating and tire blowouts, further increasing the risk of accidents. Number 5. Interstate 95 in Florida. Moving eastward to one of the busiest corridors on the East Coast, Interstate 95 in Florida is a hotspot for traffic incidents, earning it a notorious reputation among truck drivers. Spanning the entire east coast of Florida, I-95 is a critical artery that connects major cities like Jacksonville, Daytona Beach, Orlando, and Miami. This route is heavily trafficked not only by locals and commuters, but also by tourists and long-haul truckers, creating a diverse mix of driving behaviors and often congested conditions. The challenges of navigating Interstate 95 are manifold. High speeds and frequent lane changes are the norm, as drivers jockey for position on the often overcrowded highway. Aggressive driving and road rage incidents are common, exacerbated by the high-stress environment, especially during peak travel times and tourist season. Additionally, Florida's unpredictable weather adds another layer of difficulty. Sudden torrential rainfalls can lead to slick roads and reduced visibility, increasing the risk of collisions. The stretch of Interstate 95 through urban areas like Miami and Fort Lauderdale is particularly perilous. Here, the combination of high-speed limits, dense traffic, and complex interchanges demands constant vigilance. The road is also a scene of frequent construction projects, which can lead to sudden lane shifts and uneven road surfaces, posing additional hazards to unsuspecting drivers. Number 6. Highway 550 in Colorado. Next, we venture again into the Rocky Mountains to explore Highway 550 in Colorado, famously known as the $1 Million Highway. This part of the San Juan Skyway offers some of the most dramatic and breathtaking landscapes in the United States. However, the beauty of this road belies the extreme risks it poses to those who travel it, especially for truck drivers maneuvering large vehicles. Highway 550 winds through steep mountainous terrain with numerous tight curves and narrow lanes, lacking guardrails in many sections. This road demands the utmost attention and skill from drivers as it climbs to elevations over 11,000 feet at Red Mountain Pass. The route is notorious for its sharp turns and sheer drop-offs that can be unforgiving to any driver's mistake. Winter brings additional hazards, as the road is often blanketed with snow and ice, complicating navigation and increasing the risk of sliding off the precarious edges. The challenges of Highway 550 are compounded by its popularity with tourists, who may not be accustomed to navigating such treacherous mountain roads. This results in a mix of slow-moving recreational vehicles and faster-moving locals and commercial trucks, creating potential for dangerous overtaking maneuvers and close calls on narrow stretches. Furthermore, the lack of cell service and sparse population in the area means that assistance in case of an accident can be delayed, adding to the dangers of traveling on this road. Number 7. Interstate 80 across Wyoming. Interstate 80 stretches across the vast expanse of Wyoming, offering a path that is as challenging as it is critical. This major thoroughfare spans the southern part of the state, linking cities and providing a vital conduit for cross-country trucking. The road traverses high plains and mountain passes, exposing drivers to a unique combination of natural challenges. The primary hazard on Interstate 80 in Wyoming is the extreme weather conditions. During the winter months, truckers face blinding snowstorms and icy conditions that can quickly turn the highway into a treacherous, icy chute. The high winds are particularly notorious along this stretch, capable of gusting with such force that they can topple high-profile vehicles like semi-trucks. These conditions frequently lead to highway closures and multi-vehicle pileups, especially in areas like Elk Mountain, where the wind tunnels through the pass. Spring and summer bring their own set of challenges, including sudden thunderstorms that can lead to flash flooding. The wide-open stretches of the road are also prone to crosswinds that persist year-round, complicating handling and increasing fatigue during long hauls. Number 8. California Route 138. Continuing our journey to one of California's notorious highways, Route 138, also known as the Pear Blossom Highway, stretches through the high desert regions linking the outskirts of Los Angeles to the Mojave Desert. This road has earned a grim reputation due to its high rate of fatal accidents, largely attributed to its design and the driving behaviors it induces. California Route 138 is characterized by long, straight sections that suddenly transition into sharp curves without much warning, which can be deceptive to unwary drivers. The speed limits are high, and the road's rural nature invites drivers to speed, increasing the risk of losing control on curves. Additionally, the road features narrow lanes and limited shoulders, leaving little room for error or corrective action when things go wrong. The road's landscape is stark and beautiful, but offers little in terms of barriers or protection from the elements. Strong winds are common and can surprise drivers, particularly those in high-profile vehicles like trucks. Visibility can also be reduced during dust storms or when the sun sets directly in front of the westbound lanes, further complicating driving conditions. Accidents on Route 138 often involve head-on collisions and high-speed impacts, which are frequently fatal given the velocities involved. Despite ongoing efforts to improve safety, including widening parts of the highway and adding clearer signage, the road remains a challenging and dangerous drive. Number 9. Interstate 40 in Tennessee. Next, we shift our focus to Interstate 40 as it winds through the diverse landscapes of Tennessee, presenting a series of challenges unique to this region. This critical east-west corridor connects the bustling cities of Nashville and Memphis with the rugged beauty of the Appalachian Mountains, serving as a major thoroughfare for both commercial and passenger traffic. The terrain of Interstate 40 in Tennessee varies dramatically, with flat, expansive stretches giving way to steep mountain grades and curving roads that test the skills of all drivers, especially those maneuvering large trucks. The road is known for its dense fog, particularly in the areas near the Great Smoky Mountains, where visibility can drop precipitously within seconds. This sudden loss of sight is a frequent cause of accidents, as drivers find themselves unable to adjust speed in time to react to the road conditions or traffic ahead. The weather on this route is as unpredictable as the terrain, with conditions shifting rapidly from clear skies to torrential downpours that slick the pavement and swell roadside streams. These conditions often lead to hydroplaning and flash flooding, particularly during the spring and fall months. The winter brings icy conditions and snow, further complicating navigation and increasing the risk of slide-offs and multi-vehicle pileups. Number 10. U.S. Route 6 in Utah. As we conclude our journey through America's deadliest roads for truck drivers, we come to U.S. Route 6 in Utah. This extensive route traverses the central part of the state, passing through vast expanses of rugged terrain and desolate landscapes. Known for its challenging driving conditions, U.S. Route 6 has earned a reputation as one of the most dangerous roads in Utah due to its high incidence of fatal accidents. The road features a combination of long straightaways and sudden, sharp curves that can catch drivers off guard. The grades are steep and the turns are tight, demanding the full attention of truck drivers, who must constantly adjust their speed and positioning to safely navigate this tricky passage. The road's layout, with its deceptive bends and limited visibility over crests, increases the risk of high-speed collisions and rollovers, particularly for vehicles with higher centers of gravity. Adding to the danger is the fact that U.S. Route 6 is often less traveled compared to major interstates, leading to slower emergency response times following accidents. This isolation means that assistance could be hours away, a critical factor in the aftermath of a crash. Additionally, the sparse traffic can lull drivers into a false sense of security, encouraging higher speeds and less cautious driving. Weather conditions on this stretch can also be extreme, with temperatures ranging from scorching heat in the summer to freezing cold in the winter, compounded by snow, ice, and dense fog that can envelop the road without warning. These elements not only test the endurance of the drivers, but also the reliability of their vehicles, as mechanical failures in such remote areas can have serious consequences. According to their reports, there were approximately 5,005 fatalities and crashes involving large trucks in 2019 on these roads. Have you ever driven on one of these deadly roads? If you like everything that has to do with trucking, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel.